So this is going to be a live stream of Forza Horizon 2. I've been doing this on Twitch for a while, but I wanted to start doing this on YouTube. Okay, so this is not going to be edited in any way. This is being recorded live and being live streamed on YouTube. So this probably won't be the best content to watch afterwards unless you want to watch the live stream afterwards. But this will be archived on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to watch it later. But I'm going to do this for probably about an hour or two. Just casually play this. What I've been working on in this game for quite a while now is trying to get the achievement for completing all the championships, and you can see that I'm fairly close to completing that. Maybe about 15, 20 more to go there. And so it's been just, I really enjoy this game. It's quite fun just to relax and play it. And I've just been trying to finish my way through all the championships in it. So I just wanted to kind of get back on tonight, just casually play this, talk about some stuff that's been going on with a YouTube channel, gaming news, all that kind of stuff. So just be doing this really casually tonight. And I guess let's get into this, get this started now, get into the game with this. So it's been a few weeks since I played this game, so I'm probably pretty rusty at it. But I have it set on a difficulty setting where it makes it very easy for me to just kind of talk and just casually play the game while kind of chatting on here. So anyway, GDC, I think it just ended. It was this week, and a lot of really cool stuff was the VR announcements, specifically PlayStation VR. And the price on it was announced at $400 US dollars, which doesn't include the camera, the Move controllers, that kind of stuff. And that seems like a really, really good price for it, considering if you look at Oculus and Vive, you're basically going to need a $1,000 PC to run that stuff, to build a PC capable of running those. And PlayStation VR just seems like a really great way to kind of get into VR stuff with a really low price tag on it, where you have the $400 PS4, the $400 headset, the about $50 camera, and then the optional probably about $30 Move controllers, and then you're pretty much ready to go with that. So that really seems kind of exciting to me. And if Amazon puts up pre-orders again for the PlayStation VR, I might pre-order it if I see it go up. But I don't know. It is a little bit expensive to kind of buy into it right now, because there's not going to be anything amazing right at launch unless you just want to play your games in VR. But it does seem like a really good price for it at $400. And also one thing, kind of just talking about what I'm doing right now. I've been messing with my microphone volume, trying to get a good balance between the game and the microphone volume. In videos, I've always been a little bit too soft, so I've been trying to adjust where there's a good balance between the game and the microphone volume. Obviously, for this game, you don't really need to hear the audio that much, but it's been something I've been kind of working on, trying to balance them out so it sounds correct. But in the past, I've always been a little bit too low on microphone, and trying to fix that without trying to pick up too much background noise as well. So anyway, going back to VR stuff, it does seem like the PlayStation VR does seem like a really attractive price point for that, to kind of get into it at 400. And I know that for my PC is very good PC that I built myself. It's not amazing, but it does have um, like a decent processor, a decent graphics card, and it cannot run Oculus. And I'd actually need to kind of rebuild my PC from scratch to get it to run it because even my motherboard doesn't have enough USB 3.0 ports to support Oculus. So Oculus is kind of out for VR stuff for me at least. So PlayStation VR is kind of looking a lot more attractive, like already having a PS4 and only really needing to spend $400 on the headset and then the camera and the optional Move controllers. But it is that's still uh, kind of a high price to be an early adopter into stuff. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to. Like, it seems really cool, and something that I really want to like look into getting, if not this year, when prices do start to go down, where market leaders come out. Whether PlayStation VR is going to be the main VR headset, how HoloLens is going to stack up to that, where Oculus and Vive are going to shake out. So there's also some good things about waiting as well. But that was pretty much the biggest announcement out of GDC was the pricing on PSR. And like everything, I've never actually used it myself. I don't really get out to trade shows, video game trade shows, which is pretty much the only way to kind of do it. But I'm kind of excited for it, and it's something I really want to try out. I have to look into capture a video from VR as well if I do get it, because that's going to be another challenge. So there's just been so many games that's been coming out recently, and like indie titles, larger stuff. The Division came out about a week and a half ago. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to play that as much as I'd like to. Like, I'm only somewhere right around level 16 in it right now. And it's also, I'm not that great at shooters or anything like that. I've been uploading some videos of walkthroughs and such to it, to the YouTube channel here. The reason I've been doing that mostly is because, like, there are not many people are kind of uploading these side missions, and some of them are a little bit confusing on what you have to do them. So as I've been going through it, I've been uploading some videos of guides and such for that. Unfortunately, like, I'm just so far behind in that game at the moment that I'm not sure if it really would make sense to like continue playing it. I think the game is good, but I'm not really a big fan of cover shooters, and I'm really not that big of a fan of shooters in general. I do like certain shooters, like I really enjoy Borderlands quite a bit, but I've never been really a fan of kind of like the more tactical cover shooter type stuff, because I'm always like want to just pop out and just start shooting shooting people. So that doesn't really work well in the Division, which is if you unless you're drastically over leveling the content, you'll just get destroyed unless you take cover all the time in it. So it's not quite the type of shooter for me, but it's a really it seems to be a really well-made game, and I can appreciate like aspects of it, but it's just really not a game for me. And it looks like it sold really well too. The only thing is, it seems like it doesn't have much of an end game at the moment, where you just hit level 30, then you unlock daily quests, which that's cool that they did add daily quests at level 30. And then you pretty much can go around the dark zone. And I'm really not a fan of multiplayer games or PvP in shooters at all, so that really doesn't appeal to me. But it does seem like a great game for people that enjoy that kind of stuff and enjoy cover shooters. And the idea behind the Dark Zone is really cool too, where you can group up, betray people, and do that kind of stuff. And from my experience in it, I went in there I spent about maybe an hour and a half in there. And I was always trying to be too nice. I was always trying to help out other people in it. And I was solo in it. And I would eventually just get... I just kept on getting people killing me as I was extracting loot and that kind of stuff. Wow, I did quite bad in that event there. It should be fine still, though. I should be able to still win this championship. I'm not paying that much attention to the racing since I've always played this game more casually. There really isn't that much to talk about in this game. I'll usually just talk about whatever on Twitch while playing it. And I would like to try to stream a little bit more on YouTube from now on. And try to do it more regularly. I've been meaning to do that for a while now. I think that YouTube is kind of a better place, for me at least, to stream. But Twitch, it has some advantages to it. My main problem with Twitch is, since I'm not partnered there, and it probably would take a long time to be partnered there, that I don't have the video quality little selector that allows you to downsample the video quality. So sometimes the VODs and such, if you don't have the best connection to Twitch, they'll be very difficult to view because you can't lower the quality of them. Where on YouTube, YouTube is really great about being able to kind of stream content, watch it back later, all that kind of stuff, downscaled if you need to. And it's just a lot more flexible than the way that Twitch does stuff. At least for a non-partner on Twitch. I know that I've had people tell me that on Twitch, like, it's sometimes difficult to watch my streams since it'll sometimes be difficult for their connection to get a decent connection to Twitch's servers, and they can't downsample the size of the stream, so it's just not a great user experience on that. So there's been just so many games coming out. It's talking about The Division, which I unfortunately just didn't have the time I wanted to play that, to get through it. But there's also been a lot of indie games I wanted to kind of try out. There's just been so many games that have been coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. Some I've been picking up, needing to record a little bit of content on, trying to do some videos for the channel on it. There's a game called Action Hank that came out. It looks like a sort of a runner Doritos Crash Course type game. I really enjoyed that kind of stuff, those type games, so I wanted to do something with it, but I haven't had the chance to even start it up yet. Then there's been like every day it seems like there's a new game out, and then like every Tuesday and Friday on Xbox One's marketplace there seems to be like just a pile of games that come out. It's just getting kind of crazy. Like, as someone who's really into achievements and stuff and plays games, like plays a variety of games and tries to do some stuff for YouTube, showing gameplay in them, doing like the first hour of gameplay videos, it's just really hard to keep up with everything that's coming out. And there was one game that that came out a couple weeks ago, Layers of Fear, which I was trying to record some playthroughs of it, and I did complete the game. It's kind of like a PT game, and there's a playthrough of it on my channel, but it kind of abruptly stopped where I didn't finish the playthrough of it. The reason for that was because the unfortunately one of the final chapters, the video I had for it corrupted, so I wasn't able to save the file from it, and I wasn't able to upload it to my channel. So unfortunately, I kind of had to scrap that, and I was kind of considering whether to replay from that point to redo the playthrough of it, or to kind of go back to it and get achievements on it, since I have to replay the game to get all the achievements anyway, and just re-record. But now what happened with Layers of Fear through those on my channel. But I think that game's really interesting. Like, I really enjoyed PT, and that game feels very similar to that, very inspired by that. So I enjoyed kind of what I played through of it. So it was a little disappointing I wasn't able to finish up the playthrough of that. But I did finish the game myself, and I thought the game was fairly good. But yeah, I just enjoy playing kind of this wide variety of games for achievements and such. So I'll pretty much play and look at any new game that does come out. And trophies also on the PlayStation 4. I just tend to generally prefer achievements over trophies, just because I have a longer history with achievements than I do trophies. But both systems are pretty good. I guess that's something I haven't talked about on stream yet, either on Twitch or on YouTube, is kind of the recent Microsoft stuff that's been going on, where I think it all started with Quantum Break being announced for PC as well as Xbox One, where a lot of people thought that was Xbox One exclusive, but it's also coming to their Windows 10 store. And that's not on Steam, though. That's just through their Windows store. I actually have kind of a unique perspective on all this stuff, because like I'm really into achievements and kind of Microsoft's ecosystem, where a lot of people don't even understand like the concept of what the Windows Store is and how it's different from Steam and all that kind of stuff. And the Windows Store is something they started with Windows 8, and they added a few games there that were Xbox Live enabled, and you could earn achievements on it, and kind of like hardcore achievement hunters would play some games on there, earn achievements. I've played quite a few games on Windows 8 Marketplace, bought some when they've been on sale, but they're trying to kind of expand that with the Windows 10 store, where they're basically where right now most of the stuff on the Windows Store is kind of like mobile ports, or stuff that you'd think that would be mobile type games. They're trying to kind of expand that to have like bigger AAA stuff, with Quantum Break announced for it. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider was available for that. But the Windows Store ports are kind of really lacking compared to what you would get on something like Steam. And a lot of people really don't kind of appreciate how Microsoft is locking down a lot of stuff on that, where you can't change certain settings in games. It's a very restrictive environment, all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of the situation there, where I've heard a lot of people like wonder like who would want something on like Windows Store when you could get it on Steam. And there's a very like small community of people who do kind of play stuff that has been on Windows Store, who are really into achievements. So I kind of know like the people who would do that kind of stuff are like kind of the hardcore achievement people, and they represent such a small percentage of the people who like are into PC gaming or anything like that. That like a lot of people are really confused on kind of what Microsoft's strategy here is in kind of making these games for Windows 10 that are locked down so hard. Anyway, So they got a lot of blowback from the fact that they're kind of, it seems like there really isn't that much of a purpose Xbox One anymore if they're just going to port everything to the PC. Um, and like it's kind of difficult for me because I have a different perspective on the whole thing, being really involved in Microsoft's ecosystem with really into achievements. I play a ton of games uh, on Xbox Live. I have like a 300,000 gamer score, so like I'm really into like getting achievements and all that kind of stuff. But it does seem like a lot of the stuff they are doing with it is really kind of strange, by trying to kind of do stuff on both platforms, the PC and Xbox One. And right now, it's coming off really bad, where a lot of people like wonder what is the point of kind of owning an Xbox One if you can just get all their games on PC. For me personally, like it doesn't really affect me that much, since like I just generally tend to prefer to play stuff on console rather than PC, because it's much easier for me to just do stuff on console than it is to do stuff on PC, because my PC still is decent, but can't run the best games. There's no way I would run Quantum Break at anything close to what the Xbox One could run it at. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think that they probably will have some announcements for E3 that'll kind of clarify some of the stuff, what they're planning to do, kind of how they're planning to handle the Xbox One in the future, how they're going to try to work on like combine the platforms with Windows 10, Xbox One, all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how it turns out. I know that I think a lot of people are kind of saying that this is the death of the Xbox brand, but people were saying that last generation with the PlayStation 3, when Sony did so poorly at the start of that, and then kind of turned it around with the PlayStation 4, and at the end of the generation, just making improvements to the PlayStation 3 over time. So it's definitely not like Xbox is dead or anything like that. So we'll see how it does turn out. I'm sure that it's actually a really good thing if you're kind of an Xbox gamer, if Microsoft is behind, because they're going to just try to appeal to you as much as possible, appeal to gamers, give discounts and stuff like that. And we're already seeing that, where they announced bundles, I think at $2.99 for the Xbox One, just trying to move inventory. But I tend to play on both systems anyway. I play on the PlayStation 4. I play on the Xbox One. I just tend to prefer the Xbox One just because of the history I have with it, having played the 360 for longer. Though there's games on both that I wish there was more JRPGs and such available for the Xbox One. On the PlayStation 4 recently, unfortunately, I didn't get time to play it much, but there's been a few JRPGs that came out in the US that I've been playing a little bit of. I wish I had more time to play them, but I was playing Mega Dimension Neptunia, which came out. I only played maybe about an hour and a half to 2 hours of it before kind of realizing there was no way I was going to get a chance to play much of that game. It is a really grindy JRPG. Then The Witch and the Hundred Knight Revival Edition on the PS4 came out, and I really I platinumed that game almost 3. And I enjoyed the combat, the gameplay in that game. And I wanted to try to play it again on the PS4, but it just came out at a bad time for me, where The Division came out a few days later, and I just didn't get a chance to play it that much at all. So there's a Tuesday. The main one is Trackmania Turbo. I've never played a Trackmania game, but I really tend to enjoy racing games, and I've seen a lot of the game played before, and it seems kind of like a game I'd enjoy, so I'll be checking that one out when it comes out this week. So let's see what else is coming out in the coming weeks here. I know there's a new Ratchet & Clank game. I think it's coming out the start of April. I never really played those games, but I maybe wanted to look into that a little bit. Uncharted was supposed to come out in a couple weeks, but it got delayed until I think around the start of May. Once again, I haven't played any Uncharted games, so I wasn't sure whether to try that one out or to try to catch up on the series at this point. But that is pretty much the biggest release coming out in the next couple months. No Man's Sky was announced that they're going to do a physical copy of it, which is actually a really cool thing. That's coming out in June. There was an official release date given for that as well, and it is getting a physical release. I'll probably be picking up physically. It's a full $60 game, which I think some people didn't expect it was going to be that. I kind of expected it was going to be a $40 digital game, but the fact that it is getting a physical release kind of makes up for the fact that it's a full price game, at least for me, because you can buy it, the physical copy of it, so it kind of does make it a little bit more attractive to me to pick up, since I can kind of get more discounts on it. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can pick it up for $48, at least in the US. Best Buy, Gamer Club Unlocked, same thing. So the fact that they are making a physical copy of it is a little bit more appealing to me, and kind of makes that the higher price than I expected a little bit easier to swallow. And that game, kind of looking at it, does seem like a game I'd be really interested in, though I've never been that into these kind of crafting, gathering games that have come out lately. But this one does seem like it probably would be more something that would appeal to me. For whatever reason, I've just never been like craft or gathering type games, where I just I think that one thing with No Man's Sky that would appeal to me is it seems like you're trying to work towards a goal in it, where with Minecraft, one always was difficult for me to kind of get into was the fact that don't have a goal in it, where you have to rely on yourself a lot more to kind of make up the gameplay in it. That's why I actually kind of wanted to look at Dragon Quest Builders, because that seemed like it had more of a kind of a cool, kind of like Minecraft, but kind of more goal oriented in it. And that seems like a really cool game, but I don't think it's out in the US yet. I could be wrong about that. I know it came out in Japan on the Vita and the PS4, and actually I think PS3 as well. But I'm a big fan of the Dragon Quest series, so if that comes over, I might check it out. I'm fairly confident it's not out in the US yet. Oh, and one other game that I've been kind of working on was Lego Dimensions. There was a retro level, Midway retro games level came out, and I actually made a quick video on that. I played through the story level of it. It had some new achievements, a new story mode level, and some of the content to the game. But the kind of cool thing about that is that they have like the full versions of quite a few arcade games in there. So you can actually play through quite a few Midway arcade games if you do buy that. Now, those games have been like, if you're kind of into like playing a different variety of games, those games have been released many times over. Like, I played many collections with them in them before. Like, I've earned achievements in them multiple times. They came out on the Xbox Live Arcade, but it is kind of cool where you can this level pack for Lego Dimensions does have I don't know the exact number. It looks like it's about 15 to 20 retro games in it. So it's kind of cool that you kind of get the level pack in all these retro games. And the way they did the level in it was really cool too, where I put a video of it up on my channel with my playthrough of it. But you get to play through. You're basically in an arcade in this level pack for it, and you have to build these arcade cabinets and then earn the games by getting a high enough score in each of them. And when you get enough high score medals in them, you can proceed on to the kind of end of it. So it's really actually really well done, the DLC in it. It's kind of expensive though. It's a level pack for I think $15. Well, actually, the retail price of it is $30, but it's been on sale for I think $20. I think you can get it on Amazon for about $18. I personally picked it up from Best Buy for about $16 or so, which Best Buy in the U.S. has a Gamer Club, which gives you 20% off all games, all these Skylanders type toy things as well. I wasn't going to pick it up initially. It came out on this Tuesday, and I was kind of not sure whether to get it, but then I kind of watched some reviews and other people play through it, and it looked really cool. So I did decide to go ahead and pick it up and record a video on it. I might do a little bit more with it if I earned all the achievements in it, which is usually when I stop playing a game, when I complete all the achievements or trophies in it. But I wanted to kind of look through it again to see if there's other content in it that I could that might be interesting, and maybe play through the other games in it or something like that. But for the games that were part of it, at least in the level, I played a lot of Defender as a kid. Defender 1, actually. Not in the arcades, but I played it on the Atari 2600. So, most of the other games in it, though, I hadn't played when I was younger. Well, I have played them when they've been on, like, compilations. Like, there was a Midway Arcade Classics, or Midway Arcade Origins compilation that had achievements and trophies, released on PS3 and 360 a while back, and I played through that. Unfortunately, no Pac-Man on it. Pac-Man being, I guess, kind of its own license at this point. So, Pac-Man's always been, as a kid, my favorite game, arcade game, and I always have a lot of. I'll generally buy any like re-release of Pac-Man games with achievements. And my avatar on the 360 on Xbox Live continues to be a ghost from Pac-Man, which is unlocked when you get some of the achievements in the original Pac-Man arcade game for Xbox 360. And I've kept that as my avatar on the 360 for like since 2007, 2008 or so. Actually, I think that those 360 avatars don't look that good on the Xbox One, so I might have to change it at some point. But I kept it. Recognize each other based on what their avatar picture is. So changing my avatar picture right at this, like after having it on that way for so long, it doesn't feel right to do that. But isn't kind of my favorite game series of all time, but I kind of have a lot of respect for it since I think it was the first game I ever played. I could be wrong about that because I have a really good memory, but I can't remember exactly what the first game I ever played was, but I'm pretty confident it was Pac-Man in like an arcade cabinet. Because I remember being really into that game when I was younger, always wanting to in arcades or when there's a cabinet for it. And unfortunately, there never was a really good home version of Pac-Man. Or at least the 2600 version of it was atrocious. Pac-Man Championship Edition was a great game, and I played it multiple times for the achievements and trophies. Bought it a few times. I never got. I know the Pac-Man 256 came out a bit ago, and I've wanted to play that, but I don't really play many games on like mobile, so I was hoping for it to be ported to something else at some point before kind of looking into that game. But I've heard that really good things about that version of it as well. So going back to actually talking about Forza for the first time while playing it, they did announce the free-to-play version of Forza. I think Forza 6 Apex, which will be free on Windows 10. I'll definitely play it for the achievements. I enjoyed Forza 6. I own it for Xbox One, and kind of just excited to get achievements in it again. Always kind of excited to replay a game I enjoy for the achievements. I never completed Forza 6 or like came close to completing the achievement list. I completed the career mode in it, but I never completed all the races or showcase events or anything like that in it. I kind of been wanting to go back to it. They did release some DLC for it a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, it came out at a really bad time. Kind of competed with the Division for space. I was considering picking it up, but the price on it was kind of high. I think it's $20 for the expansion. It was the Porsche DLC expansion for Forza 6. It did add new achievements to the game. It looks like it's a fairly easy completion as well. But as a little bit, I kind of knew going into it. But kind of the backstory on this is I bought the Ultimate Edition of Forza 6 so I could play it a few days early and make YouTube videos for it a little bit early. I really enjoyed Forza, so I don't like kind of mind. I put like hundreds of hours into Forza games over the years, so paying a little bit more for it, buying it digitally wasn't like that big of a deal since I've gotten a lot out of the game. But I was a little bit annoyed that there wasn't a discount or anything like that for owning the Ultimate Edition of Forza. So if there had been like a small discount for owning the Ultimate Edition of it, I probably would have bought it immediately. But because of that, I kind of just like put it on the back burner. but I knew going into, like, the reason I bought the Ultimate Edition of it was just to play it a few days early. And I knew that it didn't include any DLC or any discounts on it or anything like that, so it's not like I was mad about that, but I just think it would have been kind of a decent marketing thing to offer a small discount to people who did purchase the Ultimate version of it. But I still might purchase it at some point anyway, because I was kind of interested in going back to that game. And there is quite a bit of stuff in it that I still haven't done in Forza 6. I was actually going through the achievement list and picking off some of the easy achievements in it that I hadn't done. True Achievements, which is a great site for achievements, had a really cool competition this week called Ultimate Head-to-Head Competition, which you went up against another player on the site. They took a list of achievements that were common to each player, and then you had to unlock them. And the first person to 20 moved on to the next round of it. It's kind of like an NCAA tournament type thing, kind of based on that. And unfortunately, like, I had a really, really strong competitor in that and didn't move on, but I had a lot of fun kind of going back through the backlog of games I've had for achievements. Like Banjo-Kazooie has been a game I've been playing this week, and I've never actually played that game ever before, and it was really cool to, like, I can see why that game was such a good game when it came out. Like, it shares, like, a lot of stuff that I really enjoy about Mario 64, and I gained a lot of respect for that game playing through it this week. And it was just a really good game. I was considering streaming it, but I didn't really know the game that well, and I didn't know if it would be worthwhile or not, but I'm still kind of working my way through it. I haven't beaten it yet, but that is quite a good game, and I'm glad that I kind of went through that. But yeah, hopefully I will have more time to stream and do all this kind of stuff going forward on the channel. I've been wanting to be more regular about streaming to YouTube or Twitch. Like last year, I did it daily on Twitch. Almost every day. I did skip a few, but I kind of fell off that when I've been working the YouTube channel more, but I kind of would like to do it more on YouTube, kind of get back into it, just even if it's kind of really casual stuff like this, just because it's sort of enjoyable to me to kind of just play through a casual game like this and just kind of relax. So I will try to do this a little bit more in the next few weeks. Hopefully get on a more regular schedule for doing it as well. I don't know if I'll be able to do it daily like I did on Twitch last year, but hopefully a little bit more often than the random times that I've been doing it in the past few weeks.
Right, the champs made the call. This road trip's heading to Nice Messina. Soak it all in. Nice is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
So hopefully the new Forza game They'll come out this fall, which I assume will be Horizon 3. Will be announced probably in the next few weeks or at E3. But that's a game. If it is Horizon 3, I can understand if they need to take a year off because they have been on like a yearly schedule for the Forza games where they release Horizon 1 year followed by the main game the next year. But I am like Horizon 3 is probably the game that I'm looking most forward to for this fall, even though it's not announced yet, but I assume it probably will be announced. I don't know, this game is just really relaxing to play. It's very casual for me. Like I don't really love racing games, but I enjoy playing through them casually. And I'm definitely not that great at racing games, but I kind of just enjoy going through them. Getting achievements in them, that kind of stuff. Even the recent Need for Speed game, I just enjoyed. Like, even though the game wasn't that well reviewed, it wasn't the best Need for Speed game by far, but I just really like enjoyed just casually going through the story. I actually played it twice on the PS4 and the Xbox One. I completed it on both platforms, got the Platinum Trophy on the PS4, got all the achievements on the Xbox One. They've been continuing to do title updates for that game, though, which some of them have been pretty easy achievements, so I've been picking those out as they come up. Another, like, a little recently, I saw Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I never really played much Garden Warfare 1, but I've been enjoying what I've been playing of Garden Warfare 2. I think it's a pretty good game, though I've only been playing it single player so far.
The sounds of all these beauties revving up on the start line is music to my ears. Pick a race to start the championship.
The gameplay does feel, for Garden Warfare 2, the gameplay does, at least in single player, it tends to get old after a while, at least from when I was playing it. I probably have to play better to get that game, which I basically was almost done with the storyline on both sides. So it does seem like a well-made game, though, and I picked it up. Like, originally I picked it up for in EA Access with the trial of it. Played it for a few hours, realized it was a game and thought it was on sale for a good price on Amazon. It was $40, I think. So I picked it up. And I was planning to complete it, but kind of got bogged down with some other stuff. So I'll have to come back to that fairly soon. And also, another game, or DLC for a game, that should be coming out soon is the Lego Marvel DLC. The achievements and trophies for that are live now, so usually that means the DLC will start to be released soon. And they actually put out the achievements and trophies for all the DLC packs at once, so you can see all the packs as they're out there. I assume they'll probably drip feed the content out, where they won't release all the content at once, where they'll probably like maybe release a pack every month or something like that. But the achievements for it are out, so I'm fairly confident all the content's done and they're just waiting to release it. And I still do own that game on Xbox One, so I probably we'll see how they release the content for it and how often they do. But I might, if they release it one at a time, I might buy them individually and then upload videos for that to my channel. I still haven't completed that game, Lego Marvel's Avengers, on the Xbox One, or gotten all the achievements in it, that is. I did complete on the PS4, got the Platinum there, But that is by far the best Lego game so far. Like, the gameplay doesn't change that much in the games, so it's kind of hard for me to really recommend Lego games because if you played one of them, it's very similar to all the others. But from a gameplay perspective, they're really good games. Like, I mean, they keep getting better, adding better mechanics to them as they continue to go on, but they don't change too much for it. They just tend to make it a little bit better each time. And I'm someone who I don't enjoy the main story mode of it that much, kind of the free play mode of that kind of stuff, but I do enjoy going through the open world, completing the quests and all that kind of stuff in it. And the last few days I've been playing some really bad Connect games. I mentioned the True Achievement Challenge that I was doing. A lot of the games on that list of achievements I needed to get were from Connect games. And I've just been playing some really bad ones. I played a lot of Harry Potter for Connect, which is just a minigame collection. Played Doodle Jump for Connect, which is just really frustrating. That's based on the mobile game Doodle Jump, but they added motion controls to it. So you're basically using your body to control where you're jumping around. Dragon Ball Z for Connect. But I kind of been this is kind of the side effect of being really into achievements is you play like a wide variety of games and kind of get this knowledge of games that most people don't have. But you play a lot of really crappy games like that. But I actually don't mind it too much just because even the worst Kinect game generally is a good exercise. And that's kind of why I got back into Kinect games, is so that I could get better exercise from it, since I was losing weight and wanted to add in more exercise, and Kinect is actually a really good way to get some exercise while something else that you might enjoy, which for me is gaining gamer score and achievements. So it's this kind of extra motivation to try to exercise. But it can be actually really difficult to play a Kinect game for more than an hour at a time, because especially if it's a very especially if it's there's a lot of stuff that you're doing in it, like a lot of jumping around, running in place, that kind of stuff. It can tire you out very, very quickly. Even the Harry Potter for Kinect game, I played that for I think 2 hours straight, and I was pretty exhausted after that, even though it was very basic stuff that you had to do. Just moving your arms around, that kind of stuff. Even that really basic stuff will tire you out pretty quickly if you do it for, especially if you're doing it for more than an hour or so. And also, I did hit a 300,000 gamer score a couple weeks ago. I was considering whether to make a video on that on the YouTube channel, but I opted not to. Um, I did hit it right on the number and kept it that way for about a day or so. I can't remember the game I used to hit that. It might have been The Division. I know I was playing The Division at the time for that, but I can't remember if I switched to another game. But yeah, I'm not that much into milestones or anything like that, but I think that to be really into, like, a lot of the people who are really into gamer score these days are like above 200, 300,000 or so, because there's been so much inflation in gamer score with the Xbox One. I know back in like 2008, 2009, 100,000 was a really high score because there just wasn't that many games out there to hit that number with. I remember I was really into achievements back in pretty much right after I got my Xbox 360. I got into achievements, and I would kind of look through lists for games that would be kind of quick games to complete, and there just really weren't that many games out there that you could get a decent amount of gamer score for. Now there's just so many games out there that you can get a quick gamer score in. I think there is like only a few games that are like under 5 hours really in like 2008 or so. Now there's probably 100 games that are under 5 hours. Of course, there were some very quick games though, just because developers didn't really understand the achievement system back in 2006. Avatar was the most notable, where you can just boot that game up, play for 5 minutes, and get all the achievements in it for 1,000 gamer score. There are quite a few others. College Hoops 2K6 was like a 30-minute game as well.
That was intense. Well done.
Madden 2006 was close to a very quick game. You could actually get most of the achievements in about an hour. Then you had to sim for a couple hours, which made it, but you didn't have to actually do anything while you're simming it. You just had to let your 360 run. It's actually, for the PS3, it's kind of interesting because when they implemented their trophy system in about 2008, 2009, people had a good understanding of how achievements worked, so they didn't have as many like super easy games like you would see on the 360, where the developers clearly didn't care. By that point, developers realized that a small segment of their of the gamers cared about achievements, and they would develop a good list for it. I haven't been playing that much on Steam recently, but I do play through some of these clicker games occasionally, like Clicker Heroes, Tap Tap Infinity, Adventure Capitalists. They're just my, like, kind of, I guess, guilty pleasure games where I just enjoy playing through them, occasionally just checking in with them. But I did see recently on Steam that like a lot of people have been playing Stardew Valley. It seems to be the top seller, and I'm not sure if it is after the Division came out, but for a while it's been on their top charts, and I've been watching some videos of it. It looks like a really cool game. and it's only $15. I was considering maybe checking it out, but I'm not sure. It just seemed like a really game that I'd be really into. Like I was sort of into some of the Animal Crossing games. Um, I never actually played a Harvest Moon game, even though I've always wanted to try those games. But kind of looking at some of the stuff from seeing some videos of Stardew Valley, it does seem like a really cool game. I know it's only $15 on Steam as well. So I might be checking that out. We'll see though. Oh, and the Hearthstone expansion got announced, and it was what everyone expected it was, Whispers of the Old Gods. So far, like, the cards seem really cool, what they're doing with it. The giving everyone access to Cthulhu basically gives everyone a decent starter deck. So it seems like the breaking out standard and wild, giving everyone Cthulhu. They're trying to make it easier for the new player to kind of get involved in the game, which is a really good thing because as someone who mostly plays Arena in that game, Arena has been getting much harder because there's fewer people that are new to the game coming into it. At least that's what it seems like. It just seems like there's much more competition. Like the players that I'm playing in Arena tend to be like good players, and my win rate's been going down because of that. So, Zone is really trying to make itself a little bit simpler for the new player coming into it, and it's kind of what they have to do. This whole expansion seems to be based around that, kind of making it easier for a player to get into the game. And I did put up a very short video of the new hero they added to the game. They added an alternate hero skin for the Paladin class, and the way you get that is you level to level 20 in World of Warcraft. And of course, I played World of Warcraft for years, so have multiple characters above that level, but you do have to level it again to level 20 to get access to the skin. So I had to get on one of my characters that wasn't 20 yet, and then just quickly leveled it up. So I went ahead and did that and unlocked the skin, and then made a quick video on the channel about the hero. Unfortunately, it came out at a really bad time for me where I didn't hear about it until it was almost a day old, so I was really behind the times in making that video and getting it out there, so I was pretty late on that. I know that some of the most viewed videos on my channel are some Hearthstone videos showing off some of the hero skins when they were released, just because I was kind of waiting for them to come out and waiting to make a video on them right as they came out. So I was one of the first people to get a video out showing off those skins. And also one kind of crazy thing is that I haven't played World of Warcraft for quite a while now, probably about a year or so, and haven't really been into it for about 2 years. But I noticed when I went back to the game that I actually had access to the alpha, which is the Legion alpha, which is their new expansion. And I guess I just missed the email, or it got filtered to my spam telling me I had access to that, so I went ahead and installed that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover that at all, just because I've been away from the game for so long, but I just had to laugh some about that because I would have loved to have access to the beta for a new expansion when I was really into the game, and then when I just stopped playing the game, they give me access to the alpha for it. And I also did get into the Overwatch beta as well, which I just haven't had a chance to play yet because there's just been too many other stuff to play. And I tend to be a terrible... I have so many like I'm into achievements, I'm into trophies, so I always feel like if I'm playing a game, the beta or the alpha of it, I feel like I'm not making progress in it. So I tend to kind of avoid those things unless I really have a reason to play it. So it's kind of hard to motivate myself to play a beta or an alpha when I know I could be doing something else, and then kind of carry over to the real game when it comes out.
Nice one.
So
You looked in control for that
I do
whole
want to
race
at least give Overwatch a shot though, because I know that seems like a game I'd be really into. And once again, Blizzard seems to be kind of tailoring their game to people who aren't that into competitive shooters, which I'm not. With Hearthstone, I had like no interest in card games, collectible card games at all. But then I played Hearthstone and realized I really enjoy that genre of games.
If you're all done here,
So Blizzard's
head back to
really
the
good at
festival. We'll
kind
start
of
the
bringing
after
people over
party.
to a genre that they didn't realize that they were interested in. I know that PlayStation Network right now has a sale on a lot of games. I saw some in there I wanted to consider picking up. I There's a lot of games that were under $2, some 99 cents. Some that I wanted to pick up just for trophies, that kind of stuff. Like really cheap games. And then Xbox is also going to have another sale as well, kind of their spring sale in the next couple weeks as well. But they haven't really announced any of the titles in it yet. But that will be coming out in the next couple weeks, I think.
In 400 yards, turn left.
I need to really sit down and look at what games I have to play for like making videos on YouTube, what games I want to complete to just be done with them, all that kind of stuff. My backlog is ridiculous right now.
In 400 yards, bear left.
And I just really need to prioritize what to work on, what games to play.
Keep left. In 400 yards, turn right. Turn right.
Also trying to figure out what games to play on this channel, what games to stream, what games to upload guides for, playthroughs for, that kind of stuff. I would like to try to put out content on this channel on more of a schedule, where most of the stuff I've been putting out have been guides on this channel in the past, which I'm going to continue to do, and those tend to be just whenever I get to a point in a game that I feel like could benefit from having a guide on YouTube. I'll just record myself in it and just throw it up. But I've been wanting to do more kind of stuff like this, live streams and stuff, and kind of just talk while playing these games and stuff like that. Maybe just talk over some playthroughs of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out kind of what games to do on the channel and when to do them and how to schedule them and all that kind of stuff. But I'll be trying to kind of figure that stuff out fairly soon. But I would like to try to get on a better schedule for doing content on the channel. And of course, guides will have to go up as they go up, but maybe even doing some Let's Play type stuff as well.
In 400 yards, turn right.
And then, of course, these kind of casual streams as well.
Turn
one of the problems that I've always had. I've always felt like, especially for when commentating on a game, if I don't know the game, like I haven't played it before, I feel kind of not comfortable talking about it that much or playing through it for the first time blind and kind of commentating on it because I know that there's so many people. I saw this all the time on Twitch where I'd be playing through a game, not be sure of what's going on, and then like a lot of people kind of helping out in Twitch chat, um, but which is fine at some points, but then it can get kind of annoying where if you're making a mistake on a game and people are really trying to like if you record gameplay of a game and you're making mistakes on it. I've seen on YouTube sometimes where I do make mistakes on some of the stuff I've uploaded. People can get kind of nasty and like mad at you for making mistakes in games. So like the type of games that I've wanted to play or stream have usually been games that I know a little bit about, just to kind of not get that kind of feedback on it. The like, why do you suck so bad at this game type stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. I think there's some value to kind of playing through a game blindly as well.
We all ready for a road trip? Today's first stop is San Martin. The roads up there can get a little tight, so pay attention, yeah?
In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left. In 400 yards, turn right. Turn right.
So I am hoping to pick up Trackmania Turbo on. I'm not sure if I actually will buy the game, but I know that I'll be getting it in some form, whether it be like through a game rental service like GameFly or maybe picking it up. I think it's a $40 release in the US, so I might go ahead and just buy it outright. But I have not played those games before and kind of looking forward to trying this new one out that is coming out on Tuesday.
In 400 yards, turn left.
That game was scheduled to come out last year but got delayed till now. The only thing I'm a little bit worried with it is that it got delayed till the end of the first quarter, which is usually a really bad sign for games coming out. Just because that's the end of the fiscal year for many companies, and many times they just need to get games out before the end of their fiscal year, or even before the end of their quarter.
Turn right.
So, hoping that it won't be the case for that game where it's not rushed out. The Division might have been another situation that was similar to that. But the Division seemed like it did well financially, and it doesn't have that many issues, from what I can tell at least, or have heard of, other than some like launch day issues.
Alright, this one's gonna be fun. The American Racers Championship. Choose an event to start it.
I was really unsure what to do with it, whether to or not, because I played the beta of it, I played also the alpha of it, and I really didn't enjoy myself that much there because I really wasn't into cover shooters that much. But I decided to give it a go anyway, and I kind of enjoyed it more than I thought I would. My main problem with it was just like I'm just not that into cover shooters, so I've been kind of having trouble getting into it, and I've had other stuff I needed to play, so I'm just way behind at this point. Only level 16, I think. Where most people who are really into the game are level 30, have unlocked dailies, all that kind of stuff at this point. But I want to keep. Also another thing that slowed me down a bit was I was making a lot of videos for it, like doing walkthroughs of certain missions in the game, which actually does slow me down quite a bit in these games when I do walkthroughs and such for them, because many times I'll have to redo the mission multiple times. I've kind of, back when I first launched this channel, this YouTube channel, I did it to put up guides and such for games, and I'd be a complete perfectionist about it, and many times not want to waste even a second or two of time, and just be completely as efficient as possible. And I've gotten to the point where I just realized that it's not possible really to do that level of perfection. I remember there was one game, Lego Batman 3, I think I played the first level 4 times to try to get a good run through of the first level of it. And it was just... that's... like, you can do editing and such, but for some games it's kind of difficult to... You can't really edit around everything, especially for these Lego games. Some of the problems is that you might do something in one spot that triggers something else, and you're not sure that doing that thing had an impact or not. So you couldn't, many times with stuff, you couldn't really edit around as easily. But I basically had to kind of drop the perfectionist attitude with it, trying to get every guide being absolutely perfect. I try to not waste time for the guides. Like if I'm spending more than, like the general thing is, if I'm confused for more than 30 seconds, then I'll try to edit around it the best I can. But I think there's also some value at times, like if you can see on the video that the person doing the walkthrough is clearly confused, you kind of feel that way as the viewer. If you're confused as well, you kind of connect with that person a little bit more, and then you can see how that person is solving the puzzle. Not that this is a bad thing so much, but sometimes when I'll get stuck in a game, I look up a walkthrough of it and I see that like someone figured it out extremely quick, and I'm like, oh, I was completely stupid to not figure that out immediately. But it's kind of a balance between not wanting to waste people's time and also try to show the puzzle the best you can with these guides and stuff I've been doing for the channel. But I will be trying to look through a list of games that I'd like to do on YouTube for streaming, maybe Let's Plays, that kind of stuff, and try to do expand the channel a little bit more to do more stuff than just guides all the time. That's been kind of one of the goals of what I've been wanting to do this year, to try to expand a bit more with it. And I kind of want to go over my list of games to see what would be good games to stream, and what would be good games to do maybe Let's Plays or stuff on. The one downside of YouTube is that you do have to be a little bit more careful about the music that's playing in these games. Because when I was on Twitch, just for instance, I would normally have some music playing in the background of Forza Horizon. I know if I were to do that on YouTube, some of the music that was playing would likely be claimed, and the video could be taken down. So I tend to be a lot more careful about the games that I'm playing and kind of the music that's playing in the background in them, whether it's licensed music or not. Many times when I'm doing walkthroughs or guides or even some gameplay for a game, I'll have music turned off because even the in-game music that's completely made just for that game will sometimes get claimed on YouTube, and they can either take down the video or claim monetization rights on that video. Or even they could claim monetization rights on the video in like the US, for instance, and then make it not available in Germany, just as an example there. So I tend to be really careful about the kind of content that I put out, and try to make it so even if the in-game music is claimed, that like try to avoid that as much as possible. I know there's been a lot of backlash against fair use type stuff on YouTube. I've been like watching the videos. There's been like the where's the fair use hashtag, and there's been a lot of kind of reactions to that. And it's kind of something that like I've been dealing with for a long time. I think that as someone who has a background more so in copyright stuff and knows a lot more about the US copyright system than the normal person would, I kind of been really careful about that. And I kind of understand YouTube's system and trying to like abide by it as best I can, like by turning off in-game music and that kind of stuff when I'm doing this. But yeah, it's there's a lot of problems with YouTube's content claim system right now. I know that for Dying Light, the following expansion, I had one of my videos claimed, and it was just because someone else let's played the game, and the content in mine matched what they were playing through it, obviously, because we were playing the same game, but that claim was obviously an error, and it was revoked even before I could counterclaim it. But I've had issues in the past with it. Nothing major though. Almost always it's because there's some music in the game that was part of YouTube's content bot that looks through and looks for music tracks that match. For instance, there's a couple of videos I upload for Rayman Legends, and the music in that game is really good, and is an important part of that game. And a couple of the videos were claimed for the music in there, as well as there's a few other games where the music was part of YouTube's content match system as well. Indies tend to be very common for the music to be claimed in it. I think that's because they tend to outsource the soundtracks more often, and then the authors of the soundtrack, the composers of their soundtrack, will then input their tracks into YouTube's content claim system, and then anyone who plays the game with the music on will get claimed. So it kind of seems weird. Indie games are one of the games that I'm kind of most careful about turning the music off in. And I don't know, I try to do a balance of it, honestly. Like, I put up some gameplay from The Witch and the 100 Night Revival Edition, and I thought the music in that game was fantastic. It was composed by the same guy who did the music from Disgaea, and that was I thought the music was just great in that game when I played through it the first time. And I looked through to see if the company was claiming any other videos. Like, you can sometimes see if like other YouTubers upload videos for the game, and see if people were claiming the music in it, and I noticed no one really was. So I thought the music was a really important part of that game, so I left it on during that playthrough. I know on Twitch a while back when Dragon Quest Heroes came out, there was some controversy with that game where Square Enix was putting some like weird statements out about whether they could stream the game, the music in it, on or not. And I thought the music in that game was really incredible and actually was an important part of the game. But I think if I had uploaded that gameplay to YouTube, the tracks in it would get claimed as basically belonging to Square Enix. So it's kind of difficult because, especially with kind of uploading these videos that are like the first hour of the game, I want to give a like accurate representation of the game, including the music in it. But if I do turn on the music, sometimes it will get content claimed. So that's kind of an issue I'm dealing with it, where sometimes I want to have the music on in it, but don't want it to be claimed, possibly taken down, possibly not viewable in certain countries. So it's kind of difficult to find a balance with that. But I have confidence that YouTube is kind of addressing this issue and trying to find a good median for everything. Anyway, that's really boring talk on that. But the last thing I want to say on that, though, is that I've seen, like, there's a lot of people kind of talking about fair use, and a lot of times I've seen some stuff put up where they're claiming fair use on it, but it, to me, does not really seem like it's a fair use case, where there's a real, it's in the US there's like a definition of fair use, and it's can be somewhat difficult to define it sometimes, but I've seen some people like claim fair use on things where I personally think it's like there's no way this is fair use. But hopefully YouTube will kind of fix their copyright system, and that's enough of that kind of boring talk on that.
Oh, wow. You made that look easy.
But yeah, I've always been concerned that one day I'll wake up and see that my channel is taken down just to some community guideline stuff. Like some random copyright strikes out of nowhere or something like that. So I've always been really concerned about that kind of stuff. One of the games I do plan to finish up and do a live stream on soon is Lego Marvel Avengers. I kind of put off that one for a while for various reasons. Probably will do a free play live stream of it in the next few days, kind of finish a more casual stream where it's not going to have much actual value, where the Lego Marvel ones I've been kind of doing as sort of a walkthrough at the same time, but just doing them live.
Okay.
So I'll try to balance that out
Next race and the
a little bit.
championship is yours.
But I do plan to finish up the Lego Marvel game on Xbox One. Streaming it at some point, probably this week. Though I'm not in a huge hurry to finish it up, because I do plan to keep that disc anyway for the DLC in it. To try to put up some levels of the DLC for that game onto the channel playthroughs of it. I also probably will be doing a video on Action Hank. I want to maybe do like a first hour of gameplay video on that game, and then maybe a little bit more on that, just because from what I've seen of it, it does seem like a cool game that I want to do some stuff with. I know that game, I think that game has been out on Steam, maybe in early access for a little bit of time, but it came out on the PS4 and Xbox One about a couple weeks ago or so. It actually was part of the voting for the PS Plus Game of the Month. The PS Plus, they've recently had the ability to vote sometimes on some of the games that appear on there. That was one of the possible choices of it. That was actually the game that I wanted to see come up on it, just because it was a new release on console. So, but Broforce won that one. I've heard Broforce is actually a good game though, so actually haven't had a chance to play the PS Plus games this month or really look into them much. On the 360 and the Xbox One, at least in the US and I think Europe, the games this month were Sherlock Holmes for Xbox One. Then for the 360, there's Borderlands is currently the game for Games with Gold, which I played that game quite a bit, and that's kind of the game that got me back into shooters, or console shooters at least. But it's quite old at this point, so definitely would recommend maybe even getting right into Borderlands 2, because that's a superior game. Like, it just improves on Borderlands 1 quite a bit.
Nice work. Another win, another
But I've actually wanted to pick up the Japanese version of Borderlands 1 and replay it, because that game will work on backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. I don't have a Japanese Xbox 360 console, but there's many games out there that have what's called stacks, where they're available in different countries and you can play them again for the achievements or trophies. So if you, in the case of, for instance, Borderlands, there's a US version and there's a Japanese version of it, and you can play both versions of it and get the achievements for it twice. For games, mostly because I don't own any consoles from outside the US. The major consoles are PAL consoles, and then Japanese consoles for the 360, and you do need those to play games in those regions. Since the 360 is not a region-free console.
Guys, that was really something else. The crowd were going nuts during that last race.
Was that some major, like, for people who are really into achievements, they do that kind of stuff. They'll buy consoles in different regions and then play games multiple times. And it's actually something I've wanted to do several times. There's quite a few games that I'd be willing to replay for the achievements again. Like Bioshock is a game that has multiple versions of it. And actually, Bioshock Collection is probably coming out soon. There's been some leaked box art for it and details of it. So it looks like that game's coming out to the PS4 and Xbox One. I know it was leaked quite a while ago, but it seems like the box art of it got leaked now, so it probably is something that'd be coming out soon. And I would definitely play that game again on the Xbox One. And probably the PS4 as well for the trophies and achievements. I actually was really late to playing BioShock, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't play it until 2013 on the PS3. I actually played maybe the first 30 minutes to an hour of it on the Xbox 360 back in 2008 or so. And after beating it on the PS3, I went back to it on the 360, and my save was from like 2008. And I picked up that save and then completed the game for it, and then completed all the achievements for the game as well.
Turn left.
But BioShock's a really good game. Definitely a good story. And gameplay is good as well. I feel bad that I waited so long to play it. And to shoot just for a long time.
This is a Sport Utility Heroes Championship. Choose a race and we'll get started.
So let's see here. And of course, coming up the next couple of months, there's a new Lego game coming out. I'll try to do some stuff on that. Usually those guides and such that I upload to the channel do fairly well. So it's Lego The Force Awakens. And they are definitely back into the cranking out Lego games mode. Last year, I think there was only 2 Lego games that were released. It was Lego Jurassic World and then Lego Dimensions. This year, there's already 2 announced. And of course, they're still doing DLC for Lego Dimensions as well. Might even see a 3rd one by some coming out in the holiday season, but we'll see. I wonder what their next license will be. I really do want to see what Forza 6 Apex will be. I know that Microsoft's talked about it a bit. What we know about it is it's a free-to-play Windows 10 game. I assume it will probably have achievements, be on the Windows Store, likely. I'll play through it probably just for the achievements, but kind of interested to see how they're going to do that for Forza 6 Apex. I mean, it's a good idea to kind of put a free-to-play game out there, but I know a lot of people are looking forward to finally having a main Forza game on PC, since driving games like this tend to be popular on PC. I'm not positive I'll actually be able to capture footage on it. On Forza 6 Apex, because I'm not sure my capture card setup will be strong enough to run the game and be able to capture gameplay from it at the same time. That's always been an issue with me for PC games, where I'll have to turn down the settings quite a bit to actually be able to capture gameplay from it. And one of the reasons I kind of do prefer console games slightly, other than achievements and trophies, kind of being involved in that ecosystem, is it's a lot easier to be able to stream and capture gameplay from a console game through a capture card than it is to play the game and capture gameplay from it at the same time on the PC. There are some things I'm thinking of doing to make it easier, though. You can build a second PC and do that as a separate capture PC, and that makes it a lot easier, since you're basically taking the load off your main PC that's playing the game. But I've always preferred to play on console, just because I'm really into achievements and trophies and that kind of stuff anyway, so I've just never really been into that into Steam achievements. So I will probably have to stop fairly soon here. I would like to kind of do this more often, streaming. This has been just a really casual kind of thing, though. Streaming on YouTube, that is. I've been doing on Twitch for a little while. But I'm going to try to make a list of stuff that I'd like to play through on stream, on YouTube, and try to do that. And try to get back on schedule of doing it. It might not be once a day, but try to get on a consistent schedule, like uploading stuff to the channel consistently, whether it be live stream or playthroughs or stuff like that. That's kind of one of my goals for that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop for now. I'm going to archive this. The stream will be available on the YouTube channel as a video on demand. I really like that about YouTube, that they do make it very easy to watch past streams, and you can pretty much so hopefully probably will be able to do this again tomorrow night around this time, hopefully. Probably it might be this game again, might be something else, probably just a very casual stream. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching, anyone who watched it either live or archived on the channel. I'll try to be doing a little bit more consistent schedule of stuff, of live stream and playthroughs and that kind of stuff on the channel in the next few weeks, and kind of think over what games to do for both. But anyway, thanks for watching and good night.